Okay, guys, Ken's 97 still 171 back with another American ATS American Truck Simulator video. As promised in the last video, we are going to build a truck. So let me just show you what we have, some things we can do. So you go here to Company, Truck Manager, and Truck Dealers. So you have a choice of Kenworth, and there's dealers you can buy online once you have a certain number of garages, I believe. So let's just take a look at what that looks like here. So we'll go in, you select one, you hit buy online. Now this is actually a mod, this K100E. It's not actually in the game. I have one of these. Um, pretty interesting truck. I like it. It doesn't have that many customizations you can do. There's like, a short that there's a few different ones. But trying to decide whether we ought to just build another W900, but I can show you. So that's the Kenworth stuff. So let's take a look at Freightliner. Buy online, and right now, really all you have are the old Cascadia and the new Cascadias. 2019 are the interesting. I think I don't remember which one's the newest one now. I think it's this one. It's got the headlights are more swoopy. Let me get in here and look. Yeah, you can see how it's got lines around the windshield, the headlights. That's a heat. Those are heated elements, which are pretty cool. So we take a look at this one. It does not have that. This is the old Cascadia. So even though it says 2019 or 2019, that's the older model. The one that's not labeled is the newest model, which you've seen me drive that truck before. So then we got Mac. They have the Mac Anthem, different versions. They also have this Pinnacle day cab. I don't know if there's any. Yeah, there are. There are some sleeper versions of that. Be interesting to play with that. I've never built one of those. The Anthem is their newest truck. Curious, see what the let's see what the um, let's see what the Pinnacle looks like. So it's definitely an older design, but let's take a look at what it looks like on the interior. Yeah, so it's a little older design. The Anthem is a newer truck. Um, so if we take a look at the Anthem, the interior, well, actually, it doesn't look a hell of a lot different, does it? Okay. You got Volvo. Not too many selections on in the Volvo lineup. Basically, you got a VNL, different levels of the VNL day cab. Um, I've driven one of these too. So, unfortunately, the interior is not the newest updated interior that you get in Europe, which has a full digital display, digital mirrors. I had a mod to make digital mirrors, and then it didn't work, so there wasn't any point. Let me just double check that it hasn't changed. You go here, main mirrors. Yeah, all you have is an option for with a blinker in the mirror. There's no camera option in the U.S. unfortunately. Western Star, kind of a neat company. They have a few different ones. Their 57X is pretty high tech. The 49X is their older design, and then they have they don't have the Western Star used to be the one that had the really retro looking front end. I don't maybe they don't make that anymore. So the 4900X here is sort of your more old school truck. The interior looks like that. The 5700X is their newer design. You can tell it's much sleeker. It's got modern headlights, and the interior is all digital, much cleaner and simpler, which some people may hate. I don't think it has a mirror option. Uh, no, just chrome standards, no electronic mirror options. So international, which I've driven. So you have their international LT day cab. They don't really have it. I'm wrong. There's the internet, the Lone Star. For some reason, I thought that was a Western Star. No, but it's a Lone Star. This is this one that's sort of um, has this big chrome grille thing. Kind of cool. It's just a hood, really. There's no difference between this and this. Um, Other than that, though, they just have this LT. They don't really have any other trucks. I mean, this is basically the truck I drove like 12 years ago. They didn't call it the LT. They called it something else. The interior's pretty much how I remember it. The mirrors are kind of nice. They just stick out. They don't have the upper bar. It's kind of nice. You could probably make the argument that what you ought to do is come in from the roof and down and leave this this if this was open right down here. Uh, but I don't. You would have to attach the mirror to the body because this is a in my truck in the early ones there was a recall. This front door frame here was really thin, and um, when you were running at highway speeds, you could see air through here. The door frame was bent outward just from the weight or the wind. I don't know what it was. And then they fixed that. They reinforced the door frame. But if you had the mirror hanging from the body, there's really nothing to hang it from up here. It's too thin. So um, yeah, you'd have to have it just hanging from the roof and down. This door frame is not that large. It is aerodynamic door frame on the outside. Um, okay, so that's that. And then Peterbilt. Um, I've got a couple of Peterbilts. It was probably most popular because it's the least expensive truck in the game. I have a lot of these for my company trucks because they were inexpensive. Then I switched to the Cascadia. So at the 579, a few years ago would have looked modern. Now it doesn't. Basic gauges on the inside. Kind of like this mirror design. That's kind of nice. You can kind of see through it because it's got two little arms. It's kind of nice. Again, there's no digital option. So let's look at okay, so they have the 579, the 389. This is more of their classic, which I have one of these. Um, yeah. It's kind of funny, interestingly, that the little thin, this is more old school, but actually kind of opens up a lot of space. And there's a bunch of options for different sizes. Like you can do a 8x8 like that. The Kenworth also has an option for this. So, and this one they tie it with the fuel tank sizes. It's got two big fuel tanks, one on each side. Um, 389, 579, which we already looked at. So that's all they have is different sizes of that. So let's do what we did before and what we're already driving since I kind of like it. The Peterbilt was pretty cool too. It's kind of an old school truck. Let's build another K900. Since I have a tuning pack for that, there's a fair amount of options. So what you do is you buy online, and then we go over here to that's the 100th anniversary with the red frame. We have one that I started with that. So let's do a 72 inch. Let's go a little bit smaller sleeper. It'll um, it'll have us update um, as you change things. It'll tell you that that won't work. It may make you make a bigger sleeper if you want a longer wheelbase, that kind of thing. So so what we do is we start with, so here you have day cab, sleeper, and then see here it says installing this item may revert some connected parts because things change. The fuel tanks change, different things change with different sleeper arrangements, which is kind of weird because like there's a ton of room. Like if you wanted a short sleeper, why can't you have this frame and a day cab? I don't know, but you can't. Um, here's your chassis search. So here's that 100th anniversary. So let's go with a see here, if you do 8x6 long, you get the bigger sleeper. And you can do medium, that got the smaller sleeper. So that's what we had before. So let's do an 8x6. It'll give us some interesting options for, actually, maybe we ought to do a, now let's do that. Okay. Um, do we want 3 axles or do we don't want to do just a, so if we do, you do a medium, then it becomes a mid lift. See how that axle goes up and down now? So it's non-powered. If you do 8x6, you have 3 powered axles, which can be an advantage, also a disadvantage. If you lift it, then your pivot point becomes right here when it's up and when you're empty. When you put this down, then your pivot point is more forward, and you end up scrubbing these 2 outer tires as you rotate around. So a little more tire wear. Also, when you're just going straight down the highway, you have rolling resistance here. But let's do 8x6. Actually, maybe we ought to do a big sleeper. Will it let us do that? And then do a, okay, so it won't let us do that. Let's do a long 8x6. There we go. This is going to be a huge ass truck. That's okay though. Then you go in here, you pick the engine. This is your standard engine, 455 horse, pack car, MX-13. Let's go ahead and put that same most powerful Caterpillar in here, and you can, if a little information. Oh, that's a mod. Why is it mod? I don't want it. I don't want any. I want all stock. Okay, so 625. Let's go again with that Allison TC10 custom. There are some interior choices. So this is gray. You can do diamond blue, red. Let's go back there so you can see it. Black, slate gray, 100th anniversary. Let's do diamond black. A little less distracting, honestly. You can select paint. So black, blue, and these are all the custom. This is part of that tuning pack that I bought. And then you can edit these colors, as I think I mentioned once before, but there's a bunch of different ones you can get. That's kind of cool. Before we select a paint, we're going to do the wheel covers and things because that kind of changes how it looks because the paint continues across all of this. So let's do that. Let's customize it first before we pick a color. I always just start at the front. We have a bumper. You can do the oversized load logo if you want. Let's do a bumper. I have kind of decided that I really like this Ranger painted. So that gives you the vertical sticks like this. Um, you can put warning flags if you want. You can put some bar blinkers down there like this. I don't know. I kind of think it looks better plain. Be functional perhaps, you know, um, like that. You can just do like metallic, fender guards basically for bugs. So when stuff hits there, it protects the front fenders. Maybe let's do that. And there's a bunch of different standard headlights, LED simple, halo black, halo chrome. So that the background is, let's do exclusive. Let's do halo black. You do grills. There's your standard grill, horizontal, rectangle, V18. It's kind of neat. Night. You got a standard painted, so it follows the paint scheme. That's kind of nice because then as you change the paint scheme, you have more painted area on it, which is kind of cool. There are several different choices. You can do painted like that, painted like that. You can do a diamond cut with paint around the perimeter, surround paint like that, louvers. I don't really like it, kind of makes it look up like it's unhappy. Um, I think I kind of like that. Um, you can pick what kind of mirrors you want. You can put side mirrors. I leave these off in the game because they really don't help you. And they just kind of get in the way. They block your vision. In real life, you would certainly want mirrors there, but I'm not going to do it because the game, it makes it a pain in the butt. Lot more. So you can do, you can change the Kenworth logo. Again, you can't really zoom in, and this is as far in as you zoom, which I don't really get. It's kind of a pain that you can't see. So then there's somewhere down here, there is a Kenworth retro logo painted. I don't know why it shifted like that. You got your bug deflector ornament. Let's do an eagle this time. Um, this has to do with the hood and the badging down here. It's this Kenworth badge. You can do plain like that. You can do a retro one. Maybe let's do that one. You can change the Kenworth logo there on the side. You do little wings on it. You do a slash. Different one. Oh, pretty cool. Guess it has an LED in there. That's kind of neat. Let's do it orange. It'll highlight better. Right there, you have your standard black trimmer. It's just the color of the rubber around the thing. You do a chrome, that, or paint, which again follows the paint color. Kind of cool. Put your number plate there if you want on either side. Here is your standard sun shield. I just did paint on that. On the exclusive, it sits, that might work too. You can check on the interior also. Because like this one, it covers like it covers a lot of vision in game. Then they have the bat thing. That one doesn't really affect your vision. It's a little bit down, but that'll be fine. You always want to check that one from inside the truck. Mirrors, you have your duty mirror, duty painted. I discovered this modern premium paint. It eliminates this diagonal here, kind of like that. You can also just go chrome if you want. Then you have, you can put a skylight or no skylight, your light adapter, and then once you highlight that, you have all these sections here. So you can pick, there's 3 different lights. I think this one's more expensive. It's probably brighter. So we'll pick that one. $270 each. Starts to get expensive. Some of these little, this is not real money, by the way. It's income from inside the game. So we have 22 million right now. We're not really worried about the cost. These are your horn adapters, and then you can select what horn you want. You got roar, you got black roar, big roar, and then super roar. Let's do black though on this one. You can do black or chrome. Black's kind of neat. You can also make them chrome. On this little deflector here, you can have stock, an industrial looking one. It has little vents on the side. On the air cleaner, there's several choices. You can do lights, and it's lit. It's lit on the front. No, it isn't. That one's lit on the front and the rear. Kind of cool. But I kind of like the paint one because again, it allows the paint job to have more area. Kind of cool. Mud flaps, and you can pick which ones. The standard one actually looks kind of the best because it has a little flare at the bottom rather than just being square. Windows trim, you can do this chrome. Right now, none are selected, so it's just paint. If you select this, you'll have a chrome strip that follows up. I don't know, kind of like just like the paint. Door trim, same thing. You can have trim around things. On this one, you can do that. You can, again, paint it so the paint scheme follows. And then there's a slight difference in this. This is a classic door handle. It's a little different design. On your door handle, you can have, this is the door handle here around. You can bolt it. Again, it's shifted. I don't know why. You probably would want like this, the stock one, which goes up and around. Because when you're up here, when you get out of the chair, you might want to grab it up there. On this thing, you can do basic chrome, basic paint, painted to as painted to oval, painted oval LED. Let's do that. So then what it did is it put some LED lights and it put a trim right here, which kind of looks cool. And again, it makes the paint job larger. And that, again, aluminum exclusive. There's some paint exclusive too, or again, it adds the paint job, kind of makes the paint more cool. And then you can have this, you can have just nothing, but you can also do different LEDs. And then you have some LEDs here and some LEDs here, put some cool lights on the thing. Click on that. So this is a standard aluminum 235-gallon tank. You can do paint and chrome where the tanks are chrome, but the straps are painted. And there's a few different sizes. So down here, there's a painted 300-gallon. Let's see what this does. Okay. It got rid of the thing that was back there. Well, it just reset all that shit. Okay. This is the problem with changing things around. Sometimes you screw shit up and you can't easily revert it. So it was that and that. Interesting. The def tank went somewhere. I don't know where. But let's do 300-gallon painted. Again, it may not let us paint that. Okay, that allowed us to paint it. Okay. And that lets you put some things right there with some LEDs. Let's do oval though, so it matches these. You can put a Kenworth logo there if you want. You can change, do you want it stock, paint, so it's painted. You can get rid of the window here. You can do several different choices on window. Um, let's do that. Again, more paint, kind of cool. This thing, you have extenders that you can do. So the rails are on the back of the cab. Yes. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. Put LEDs on the inside here, or round ones. Let's continue the oval theme because all the other LEDs are oval. So let's do that. Or we could do side markers there, or the markers are actually down the thing here. Now you have rectangle markers and rubber things there, or ovals, which the rest of it's oval. So maybe we do that. Having the lights on the back inside here don't really add a lot. So, although it is, no, they're exactly the same. Okay. So let's do that. On the roof here, you can put a beacon. And then on the roof here, there's like roof deflector, um, whale tail, which does that. The roof deflector goes over the top and kind of completes the shape, but it's actually hollow in there. Don't really need that. Then they have these like turbo wing thing. You used to see these a lot, these wing things. There's more air resistance is really what that is. You might make the argument like that or this. If you were carrying a box trailer all the time that was this height, that would be an advantage. So let's do that one because again, it's more painted surface. Might be kind of cool. Can't really hurt anything. Okay, so let's do the wheels. Um, let's see here. Let's do the wheels. So you have a bunch of wheels available. This is the stock dynamic. You have shadow, which goes dark. Shadow wide, which gives you a wider tire and a bigger, probably heavier loads. I don't know whether it actually calculates that. Let's do a dark wheel on this truck. I've been doing chrome wheels, so let's do that. You can change the lug nut. Let's match it with shadow. The hub, you can paint it, make it black if you want. The hub cover, which would cover the entire thing. Let's see if there's a shadow. Let's see if there's a dark version. Just paint. Let's do leave a little contrast there. Or we can paint it manually. We could do Kenworth Chrome. That looks pretty good. Leave the chrome section in the middle there. Maybe give a little contrast to the wheels. So we'll do, let's do shadow wide. This will give us super singles. Shadow bolts. And let's do a Kenworth chrome cover. Again, black on black and then a little chrome in the middle. It's kind of nice. There's some tire choices. You want the better tire. They have better ratings on speed, wet, that kind of thing. So we'll do the same. I wish you could like just copy paste, like everyone would follow, but you've got to do them manually. Kind of a pain. your tire. Shadow wide. Let me tell you, people hate on super singles, but that's interesting. The hub is just black on the inside without the chrome section in there. I don't know. I don't know, which way do you think looks better, guys? Just blacked out? That one's chrome. And I don't think this is one of the problems you run into is like, oh, that did black it out. But then it's just a bare hub. It's kind of ugly. Oh, let's do the same. Pick the Kenworth chrome. Gives a little contrast to the wheel. It's not all just black on the inside. You know, here's the reality. This stuff gets expensive. In real life, this stuff gets really expensive. Um, you can make the argument that the Alcoa, they don't have this in here, but it is an Alcoa aluminum wheels, probably higher quality, stronger. Maybe they're made better. Um, the reality is, though, probably a steel wheel is gonna is gonna work just as well. Probably be cheaper. Might even be lighter. Might not take impact as well as an aluminum, but so this would be kind of cool. You can change the mud flap here. That's stock. You can do a painted cover. You can do a quarter like that. They make one that has a Kenworth logo. There's a fiberglass half. You can do chrome, painted triple. That's kind of cool because again, it follows the paint scheme. You get this hump one where they're actually connected with each other. I don't know, something about that looks weird to me. I don't know why. And then they have a hump triple, which are humps, but they're not connected in the middle. Um, I kind of like those for some reason. I don't know why. Leaves more of the tire open. I don't know, for some reason I like that. The nice thing would be though, if you did that, you have again more painted surface, especially with this one. You have more painted surface to go with. But something looks weird to me about that. I don't know. I'm not really sure what or why. Um, on here, you can pick a headache rack. It's called a headache rack so that when shit flies through the cabinet, gets caught by that, it doesn't give you a headache or take your head off. This was some of the rail options that changed when we did the side thing here. Um, there are 3 lights back there. Let's see if there's. I don't know what changed. Actually. Two. Well, there's 3 lights back there now. Okay. Here's where you can choose the catwalk. And you're really only ever going to be walking right there. So let's say you wanted to they have a painted option here, but it only covers right here. I kind of wish there was a painted option all the way back, but there's not. But they do have that, which I think looks pretty good. It's that serrated tread pattern. That looks pretty good, I think. On the end here, there are several stock choices: round, modern chrome, round chrome, Thor, kind of like the boxer one there. All of these, for some reason, revert to other resets to paint. I don't know why. So we'll leave it like that. You can pick your mud flaps. Standard 2 is rounded on the edges. That looks pretty good. Mud flaps. Okay, guys. I think. Oh, we didn't pick the exhaust stacks. Knew there was something. So you get these. That's the standard exhaust. 100th anniversary puts Kenworth 100th. You can paint. Again, covers it. It kind of extends the paint scheme. Kind of cool. You can do curved ones that are like that. So for some reason the pipe looks bigger in that curved version. The pipe's thicker. It doesn't affect this thickness here. Well, so let's do that. I mean, you could say this shield is nice, but if you were looking down the side of the truck with it gone, you have a slightly better field of when you're looking down the truck. You don't have. It's only maybe a little bit, um, but it does affect it a little bit. Let's do that again. The paint scheme's kind of nice that way. So, all right, guys. Now we'll do the interior. See if there's any interior choices. Um, that'll be if you want to put your number plate there. That's your painted airbox. Mirrors, we already did that from the outside, modern. Um, you can put like a mug there. I don't know, that stuff's interesting, but a couple different Kenworth. You can do a modern classic or a modern or Kenworth classic. So you go with the wood or the modern. I'd rather have the modern. This will allow you to put like knobs, like spinny knobs. Up here you have that's your sun shield. Again, you can hang something, a hanging. You can put like a air freshener or something there. Same thing. You put a hat. There's your logo, your number plate. You can choose like there's your standard. You can do wood, carbon blue, carbon black full. I'm gonna go black just because it darkens the interior a little bit and makes the contrast a little better. There's your stacks. Oh wait, okay, it is selected. Down here again, you can put like keychain keys or something. You hit select that, and then you can put different things. You can put a mug in there if you want to. Again, cool. Lets you customize your truck, which people like to do. It doesn't really add to the game. So we can put some Kenworth premium floor mats. Again, that's kind of dumb because you're never looking at the floor. This thing here, you can select whether you want the safety window over here so you can see out or not. Got basic seats. That allows you can lay, you can have something laying on the seat cover. You can pick, these are just cloth gray seats. Moderna black, leather, Icon 900. There's your 100th anniversary. That's kind of neat with the red striping. You'll never see it, but you can put a bag right there. Again, a hat. This is where you can control what kind of window you want. We went with painted. And this is kind of weird. I mean, normally you would have a bunk here. I mean, I'm sure this folds out into a bed or it does something. Or maybe you just sleep up here. I actually don't know. I've never been in one of these in real life. That you can put a standard mirror, which we will do, because that can be handy. This will select sunroof or not. That's your sun visor hanging item. Just like to go through, make sure I didn't miss anything on the interior that has an option. And now let's pick a paint. Although I gotta say this one's not bad. But let's go through and look at all the interesting custom. Of course, you can just do like blue. You can do solid colors, white, satin gray, wine red, orange. That'd be bright. Crimson red, black, metallic blue, metallic cyan. You do a custom metallic color with different layers. So the base color, and then the metallic and the reflective. And if you don't like the blue, like we could go in here and change that blue to something else if you wanted to make it customized. That's kind of neat. Go a little bit lighter blue. It defaults back if you don't save it. Rush, Serenity, Stripe, Aurora, Infinity, Leading Edge. Kind of a neat color. Again, you could change. If you didn't like the dark, you could go with a red or a white, like a silver, and you can change each of the different color options in here. Moonlight Tropicana, rainbows. I don't know why it's called rainbows. Vintage red. This is sort of a classic, W900 color. Western Tourer. This Blue Rhapsody. I think I looked at this before. It's there's no customization on this one though. It looks like a wrap, which is kind of unfortunate because like this one, you can change the colors, you can do things to it to make it a bit more customizable. But this Blue Rhapsody, you can't, and I don't know why. It's probably a wrap. Globe Runner, Flames, Retro Power. Again, you can't alter. It's probably a wrap. This one, Age of Steam, that's kind of a neat one. Again, this one you can change all the colors. So you could go lighter, darker. You could do whatever you want with it. KW 100th anniversary. This is the one I have in my other truck, the Sunset. This was the Western theme pack that I bought. Dead or Alive. That's kind of a neat looking one. I like how it went tan below. Space. This is a space theme one that I got. It's supposed to be the space shuttle. Dragon theme. Rattlesnake. Cowboy Life. Independence Day. And Uncle Sam. So, kind of like that one. Kind of because it's a lighter color down below, but a darker color above. I don't know. It's kind of neat. And you can always change this later. You can go in and edit the truck anytime. When you go to a repair shop, you could alter this. So it's not something you have to decide right now all the time. So sometimes you just pick a color. A lot of times I just kind of go through and like, oh, which one just kind of is different than the one that I already have. That's kind of a neat one. This is not bad, but I don't really like the red. So I think that will change yeah. You could go black, white. Yeah. two blue. Again, you could change the blue though. So you could go to a lighter blue, white, black, anything you want in there. I get stuck on the paint sometimes, like I don't know what I want. Kind of like that. It's mostly red. You can make it white, pink, red, black. Red, red. It's kind of neat. Let's see what that does. So that's the black. See, that's the metallic, the shift color. You can kind of see it at the edges there. Then there's a blue component. Harder to see the change on that. I don't know. It's probably the color shift. That's kind of neat. I don't know. What do you think? Let's go with that. All right, guys. So let's just make sure we got everything else we need. Um, that's the interior. We did that. We already picked the transmission, picked the engine. We've got everything else set. Were those tanks? Did we pick painted on the tanks? Yes, we did. Okay, so they are. I wasn't quite sure if the paint followed, but it did. Okay. All right, guys. So that's it. And then what you do is you it's interesting that it has heavy cargo, but not all the way up, even though it's a three-axle trailer. That's kind of interesting. I'm surprised that's not maxed out. Huh. You hit confirm. Kind of confusing. It then shows up in the list. You then hit purchase, and you have to send it to a garage. There, you have to have an open garage with open space. So I've already built a couple of these. Um, you need an empty space and hit that. So then we can go to Garage Manager. That was no, it was well, was it Truck Manager? Sorry, Garage. It wasn't El Paso. It was Las Cruces. Yeah. So these are the ones that I built. That's a day cab one that I built earlier just for fun. Um, that's one I built earlier with the three axle. This is the one I built myself earlier and actually forgot about it and didn't record it. And that's the one we just built. These two are basically the same, except this one's a low roof. I'm actually might sell this one. Um, and what the hell? I can sell it later. So why is this one 625 horsepower and not? You can upgrade them right from here too. Oh, this one has that modded engine in it. I don't like that. Let's because by default, these two mod options are on. So let's change those two now that I've noticed that. I just spent $20,000 to get less horsepower. Maybe we'll leave one with it in there just to see. But that's the one we just drove. So then what you can do is you can hit drive it. You're sure that you will reassign your current sleeper to Las Cruces and drive this one. Yes. I already sold my trailer. So this is what the truck looks like. I think it looks pretty cool. See the halos light up there? Blinker. The lights on the top, lights down the sides. I wonder if it... I wonder how you turn on those lights in the back. Let's see if there's a setting for that. Oh, buttons. Truck. Turn signals. Beacon. It might be under beacon. Otherwise, why do you have lights back there? Auxiliary, interior. We'll try O, which is a beacon. Nope. Huh. So I wonder what the hell those lights do back there. So we need a trailer. So now, of course, the interior video here has changed to, I sold that giant trailer. The best way to get rid of it was just to sell it. Because nobody's going to use it. None of my drivers are going to use it. So we need a trailer. And where are we at? I think we're in Phoenix. Okay. Why are we in Phoenix? So what we need to do is company, trailer manager, trailer purchase. So, and you have trucks and trailers, my fleet, these are ones that I've built in the past. There's one of those, that's a single pivot point one. Let's just pick one, a 3-axle, probably that one, full wooden low boy. Why is that one? $63,640, $63,410, $69,410. I wonder why this one's more expensive. I might have lights down the side of it. We'll just pick that one. So 3-axle, that'll be fine. Let's customize it. Let's just take a look at it and see. We could change the color. We can make it white. It's got some chrome. Yeah, shadow, which I think are the wheels we used on the let's go. Does not have upgraded tires. Or that one wasn't anyway. Got the wooden deck. It's got the exclusive upgraded LEDs. Got your tire flaps. Let's put a strobe on the back of it. It's got everything else. It's got the exclusive lights, otherwise you just have two lights. It's got the deck. Okay. And let's change the color to something that's more a light color to match our truck. Let's just go white. Confirm. There it is. Purchase. And we are in Phoenix. See if it'll let us put it there. Okay, so I think we have to say use it. There's ours. Use. Yes. And now the trailer has been attached. Now we get to see if that trailer is even close to the same color. And it's close enough. At least in nighttime we can tell. Okay. So that's the customization of a truck. And I'm going to post a separate video now of us let's haul something with it. So I'll make that another video. This video is almost an hour long. So we'll call this one finished, and then I'll be right back with this in this exact same spot, and we'll drive a rig. All right, guys, Ken's 97 Stowe 171. Hope this was helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out there.